Okay.
Right. Hey, Amy, Cindy with Cart Keller Williams. How are you? Holding up in all this
Good.
chaos?
Yes, hanging in there.
Good,
Just
good,
finding
good.
finding new ways to do things, right?
Yep, yep. Well, I wanted to kind of have a feedback with you. So when I have conversations with for sale by owners, when I see some of their photos, it's like they could use Amy to kind of guide them in placing what they already have in their home so that they can have it really look sharp. So I'm going to kick over to the share screen for you to explain what that does. All right.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds great.
Tell them more about you while I'm kicking over here.
Okay, so I am Amy Stepkowski with A Step Above Designs, and I am a home stager and redesigner. And I specialize in occupied homes. I enjoy working with the homeowner, and it's just a very it's a good time together because we get to be very creative. I like to try to use what they have to just really showcase their home for the market so that they will get, the maximize the equity they have in that property as they're selling it. So
Like create the curb appeal inside the house, not just outside.
exactly. It's important in both areas. And the photos online are the first impression for buyers. So we need a great first impression to get them in the door. And then they also need to be wowed when they get there. It should be consistent with what they saw online. And that's what we're aiming for when we stage together in an occupied home.
Now,
So
I have a sample of a flyer that you did here. You had the kitchen to the left that somebody had
mhm.
done their way, and then you went in and did your way. You want to kind of share what you did there?
Sure. So this is a condo on Clearwater Beach, and I mean, it was $1 million property, and I would imagine that most people look at that picture on the left and would be surprised to hear that that's $1 million property. But it was a second home, a vacation home, and so the goal was obviously to show off the beautiful assets in that property. It has a beautiful kitchen with granite countertops. You see the wet bar off to the side in that second photo. It really, and the view was incredible. It was right on the beach, but we really needed the inside, the interior, to say luxury as well. And the first thing we did, obviously, was change the paint. That's the most obvious change. And that is, paint is like money in a can, especially in a situation like this. That yellow would have just turned off so many buyers, I believe, that would just keep scrolling when they're looking for a property to go look at. But it's such a simple fix to neutralize the walls, and that way you can actually focus on the beautiful fixed assets in that property. And so that's what we did.
In some of my
And
experiences when I take buyers in properties like this, they can't think that they can change the wall color just like you can change it. I'm not really gifted in that arena as to what color change it should be to make it, like you
right,
said, neutral and soft and something that anybody could see them doing their own thing with.
right.
I like
And
the difference there.
it is so, it's so important to go ahead and make an easy change like that for buyers so that they don't have to try to visualize. Most buyers have problems visualizing. In fact, the NAR, National Association of Realtors, statistics say that 83% of buyers have a hard time visualizing something. They need to see it staged,
Yep.
or they need to see the property the way that they would want to live in it. And the other thing is, especially in a beachfront home, the idea is people are buying there for the ocean, right? And
Yep.
so that yellow is so distracting. I mean, you just want their eyes to go straight outside to the water, or their eyes to go straight to the fixed property or the fixed assets like the granite and the wine fridge over there on the side. I mean, it's just the beautiful huge stainless refrigerator, that's built in. So those are the assets of the property, and that's where the money is, so they need to see, that's how they're going to see what actually holds the value in that place. And then I just brought in some beautiful updated accessories just to give it a little wow. And that's another change that you see there. But it, it doesn't even require a lot. It's the paint was the big thing in that space, and then we did accessorize all over in the home just to give it that feeling that just give buyers kind of an emotional connection to the space.
I like the table runner down the middle. That's something very simple, and yet it makes it look really elegant in the space, like you were saying, a luxury condo on the beach. Gives it that luxury feel as opposed to just the table being in there.
Right, right. And it's funny, the buyers that ended up buying this property, they wanted all the accessories with it. So that was an easy way for me to turn over my accessory inventory. I got to go shopping again too. So
what a problem to have, right?
I know.
So how can they reach you?
So I am on Facebook, A Step Above Designs. I'm also on Instagram, or I have a website, www.astepabovedesigns with an S at the end.com. And my cell phone is 727-710-0115. So there are lots of ways to reach me.
And we can even do it in Zoom if we have to, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Being able to maximize everyone's time and do it in Zoom as well if they don't want to be in their home to have a conversation with them in the home.
Exactly. That's one way that I've had to change my business, and it's actually turned out to be great. It's really easy. I have the sellers send me pictures of their home beforehand. I tell them exactly what photos I need and where to stand to take the photos. I send them a Dropbox link. They just drop them in there. It could be 50 photos, and it's super easy to just drop them in the Dropbox, and then I can go ahead and look through them. We schedule a Zoom call. They can walk me through the property so I can really get a feel, and I'm taking notes and asking questions, and then I'm filling out a report for them that I will email to them afterwards. It's a full report that has tons of great just general information when it comes to marketing your home, and also obviously the recommendations specific to their property. And then I also include a top 10 priority list for those that just are overwhelmed by too much information and just want, tell me what I need to do, what's the most important. And so I send them a top 10 list as well.
And that makes it simple when we do it by Zoom and such like that, because I think in conversations that we've had with our brokerage, agents that do what I'm doing, having interviews with like you, having conversations with people online, having the FaceTime, the properties, things like that, is going to be the way it's coming in the future. It's not going to be just you look on Zillow and it's a done deal. It's a matter of how you're still going to need the agents to have the physical presence of being able to go and look for you.
Right.
This makes it really an easier way to do that. Work with you to stage it, work with me to get in the home if they don't want to go look at themselves, and then get the contract written.
Well, and the big thing, and I'm talking in your lane now, Cindy, but they need representation for them, in a transaction when they're out looking for a home. That's Absolutely. What, it's like you can sell your home by owner, but that agent that brings a buyer is representing their buyer, and I just think it's so important to have representation.
See that value, because people don't understand what the complications could be, what they should be disclosing, so that they don't get in trouble down the line. And if the buyer had an inspection or didn't have an inspection and the seller didn't disclose because they didn't know to disclose, that's the whole other component. And yes, bring me a buyer and I'll pay you your whatever percent, and that's all well and good, but I'm not representing you, Mr. Seller.
Exactly.
The listing, then it becomes a transaction, and I tell you the processes of what you need to go through to protect you. At the same time, tell the buyer what they need to go through so that they don't end up with the wrong end of the deal either.
That's right. Yep.
All right, they can reach me, Cindy Lukehart, at 727-420-3628, Keller Williams Realty. And one more time, your cell phone, Amy?
727-710-0115.
Perfect. Thanks, Amy.
Thank you, Cindy.
Bye-bye.
Bye.